We are talking Detroit Lions. The fans, I feel like we failed our first stress test yesterday. That's fine. D-Mac says it's okay. That's the point of training camp. I agree. I certainly do agree. So, we can get stronger and come back because, guys, I hope this does prep you because it is going to happen. It happens to every team. It happens to in every city. So just remember, it is going to happen. And we just got to hope that, for our sake, that it's something manageable and we move on. But it will happen. Other Lions news and notes as well. Teddy Bridgewater took a visit with the Detroit Lions. And, it's funny to me, D-Mac. Do you remember, because nobody keeps receipts like I do, Spenny. Mm-hmm. Do you guys remember, D-Mac, earlier in the year, when just after the football season had wrapped up and we got to free agency, and remember there were certain people even at this network that were prepared to offer $6, $7, $8, $9 million for Teddy Bridgewater. Mark me, Spenny.
Yep.
Were there people in these
Facts.
streets?
Yes, there was.
I think it was 8.
There were people here at this network, and it was laughable to me. Laughable. And what did Brad Holmes do? He did what Brad Holmes does. He lets the market come to him. He doesn't go to the market. Because lo and behold, old Teddy Bridgewater still sitting out there.
So
right?
What does that mean right now?
It means that because I was adamantly against that. Adamantly. But I'm not against it at $3 million.
Yeah. Which, when you have a guy come in to look, that's exactly where you're looking to sign a backup for, right?
Yeah. So, again, let Brad Holmes operate. He knows what he's doing. And there's a reason that a lot of you aren't GMs because you were going to give Teddy Bridgewater $8-9 million.
Rod.
Brad Holmes and Steve Eisman have a lot of probably the same philosophies, it seems like, in how to play the market.
My time.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it as you always say. You said it the best. I'm going to give it to you on my time.
I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to give you everything you want, everything that we want, but not when we want it, when he wants to give it to us.
That's
when
it.
He's ready.
Corey Berry, still some on the morning show today. ...
No, that's not at all what happened. Me and Jeff and Lucas, we just all agree that at the right price, I think Teddy Bridgewater would be a good option to bring in and sign. We didn't specify the right price. We knew it wouldn't be $8 million, obviously. So yes, we are perfectly fine with Teddy Bridgewater being signed for the backup at the price that he would like inquire now. So that's all that is. That's all we said. Don't put words in our mouth.
I can only go by what the people tell me.
Yes, I'm not saying you. I'm saying Corey Berry.
Burgosaurus is backpedaling.
Wait a minute. I did not backpedal. What? When did I say? I didn't even specify a price. Me and Jeff
Jack
and Lucas.
Harrington says lies.
That's, oh my God. You guys are just always gonna go against me no matter what. None of us even mentioned a price. We just said now that Teddy Bridgewater is available, that would be a pretty decent signing because Teddy Bridgewater has been pretty good at mini stops throughout his career. That's also facts.
Lorena Rios, why is Sam Flannel stuttering right now?
Oh.
AC, Sam running crosses around his lies.
Oh.
That is not even
Robert
true.
Closia didn't say it, but the emoji, bozo.
Oh.
DNCENT, I have changed my stance. The C.J. Gardner-Johnson scare yesterday made me realize that we need the $18 million in cap space, which they do have, by the way. Without Teddy Bridgewater or D-Hop, save the money for injury help or fortify the defensive line. And D-Mac, the money tells you what's going to happen and what the philosophy is, the use of the money. They are prepared to deal. This goes back to it. I just wish we would have recorded this and run this at a loop, because this goes back to what I talked about. Say the worst did happen with C.J. Gardner-Johnson. They're more than fully prepared to go deal with it.
Yeah, to find
at the stroke of a pen.
And here's the one thing, and I forgot who brought it up. Remember, Tracy Walker's coming back too, and that's a blessing. And unfortunately, missing the season, so we don't know what he's got. But being fresh and ready to prove, so there is a benefit. I like that is training camp. It's a blessing in disguise, Neil, for a lot of reasons emotionally, but right for us as fans to have this happen the first day of training camp. But it's how we're going to react. It's going to happen again. But so I guess when I look at the 18 million or whatever, so is there 2 or 3 million in there if Teddy Bridgewater is the Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell guy?
Perhaps.
And perhaps not.
And perhaps not. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's more up to Teddy Bridgewater than it is up to them.
No, but isn't it up to them that it's a 3 million or a 2 million deal?
Whatever the number is, right?
Right, but it's their number.
It's their number.
And he's probably going to walk, but it's something that if he can't get, or if maybe he's happy with what's being built here. You never know.
Yep. Sholin Trapp says Flannel is better at moonwalking than Michael Jackson.
Ooh.
I didn't even moonwalk. Go back and listen to the replay of the show. I never mentioned money.
I will take up for my guy Spencer Raxter here. Steve Wild says Spencer Raxter, quote, backups don't matter. It's an automatic loss. Bridgewater's a loser, and he has a losing record.
I didn't say he was a loser, but yeah, I don't care about Teddy Bridgewater.
I don't either. And to come full circle, Steve Wild, I don't care about the backup spot. Because guess what happens when your backup quarterback plays?
You lose.
You lose. And Teddy Bridgewater, I'm glad you brought it up, Steve, to say that. Because guess what the Miami Dolphins were in the 5 games that Teddy Bridgewater played yesterday in the backup role? Guess what their record was? 0-5.
What
That's
about
mad.
2019 when Teddy Bridgewater was Drew Brees' backup and was 5-0, 9 touchdowns, 2 interceptions? Are you really telling me at $3 million a year you'd be like, nah, Teddy Bridgewater, we're fine. We'll run it with Nate Sudfeld.
Yeah.
Come on now. Are you serious?
Yes.
Jesus
I think
Christ.
it comes down to the point is what Brad Holmes, didn't we all expect Michael Bagley to be the kicker going into and he got cut, so I think they know what they want. And if he's better than, if they think they have a better chance, we all agree, right? If Goff goes down, then it's going to be tough no matter who's in there to win games. Is that right? No matter who the backup is right now? But at least if they feel Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, that organization, maybe Teddy Bridgewater can perform more like the New Orleans Saint than the Miami Dolphin, then it's worth the $3 million.
No doubt. And I know everyone runs to the unicorn example, right? And they're going to talk about the 49ers. Guess what? Did the 49ers really even have a quarterback? Like a true number 1 quarterback? Who was their quarterback last year?
Right.
I mean, I think it started with Jimmy Garoppolo. Well, it started with Trey Lance. Yeah, it did start with Trey Lance.
They played with a backup the whole year. Yeah. They never lost their starting quarterback because they don't have a starting quarterback.
I mean, but Cooper Rush kind of righted the ship when Dak Prescott went down.
He didn't do anything, though. He just handed the ball off.
No, I understand that.
Who are you talking about?
Rain Dakota.
Oh, yeah.
Dakota.
Cowboys quarterback, yeah.
Yes. I just think it's insane that you guys are just like, nah, Teddy Bridgewater, nothing. We're just like this idea that they're just done if Goff goes down. We just give up the season. Let's just punt.
Yeah, that's what happened. The Dolphins still made the playoffs despite having Teddy Bridgewater as their backup quarterback, who went 0-5. And you can tell me about stuff that's over a half a decade ago. I'm telling you what happened a few months ago. I mean, that's the truth.
I'll tell you about 2021 when Teddy Bridgewater was the starter for the majority of the season for the Broncos and went 7-7 with 18 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. Those same Broncos that Russell Wilson got traded to and imploded, obviously.
A much better
7-7, D-Mac. I didn't just mention stats.
7-7. You want 7-7 good enough? Is that what you want? 7-7.
What would Nate Sudfeld have done?
Probably the same thing.
Oh my God.
Here's the question, right? Would you rather is Teddy Bridgewater better than what you would put like with Sudfeld or even Hendon Hooker? Forget we got him, as a draft choice. If something bad does go down, are you reverting into getting the young guy in? What's the game plan, right? But the whole thing is they have Bridgewater in camp for a reason, right? And Bridgewater is here for a reason. You don't just go skipping camps, do you?
No, and the other thing with it too is, he was so great that he's still a backup.
Yeah, and he's still not on the team.
And he's still not on a team. He's still not signed.
Teddy Two Gloves. Yeah. And so I'm not vehemently opposed to it.
No, I'm not either.
That. I couldn't care less. If they sign Teddy Bridgewater, cool.
Flannel.
If they don't sign Teddy Bridgewater, cool.
Say they sign him. Say they sign him, Flannel. And we're going out to LA to play the Chargers. And Teddy Bridgewater's a quarterback. Do you expect to win that game?
No, but I don't expect to win that game. I don't expect to win that game with Jared Goff either. Oh my God, you're talking about one of the toughest games of the season. Arguably
any game.
The Saints.
The Saints going to New Orleans.
Okay, another one of the toughest games of the season. What about home to the Raiders or home to any of the divisional opponents? I would rather have Teddy Bridgewater than Nate Sudfeld. I think that Teddy Bridgewater could right the ship for some games. Call me crazy. I mean, it's not like he hasn't done it for most of his career.
Except the last 5 times.
I get it. He
season.
wasn't. That was one season in Miami, but overall,
with a loaded offense.
I think that's the question, right? What's Sudfeld? The question is, would you rather have Teddy or Nate Sudfeld? Would you be more confident in winning a game, or does it matter?
To
Does
me,
not matter.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way.
Yeah.
So
I'm kind of the same way.
So then you look at the intangibles of why they'd have him. So it wouldn't be the quarterback. It's the quarterbacks that he's been around, how he would help, what's his relationship with Goff, and all the stuff with Ben Johnson in between. Can we agree that his track record or his resume from places that he's been and the people he's been around, that we say that Teddy Bridgewater is a football guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's the thing that they're bringing in. Maybe it's more as Teddy Bridgewater, because I could see he's sort of like Reggie Dunlap, player coach, backup, but he more into the coaching, entering into the coaching realm. Don't we see Teddy Bridgewater, if he goes after his playing career, when has he done? In a few years to being a coach? This could be the start of that. You never know.
Danny G, if Nate is our quarterback, the season is done. If Teddy is, it's not done. Well, it's funny. He didn't win a game with Miami
Yeah, but that's
with all
Miami.
those wide
That's
receivers.
not this Detroit team to be argued. The bottom line is, would you rather have Teddy Bridgewater if the money's right, or Nate Sudfeld? Who do you have more confidence in?
Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah, Sam, I'm leaning towards you.
Appreciate
I'm
that.
leaning
D-Mac.
towards that. And you know what? Hoof Hardy says thanks a lot. Now he's got to go get a 7-7 from the bar.
So there's
Dropping
that.
numbers.